diversity of red, white, and blue, and I really appreciate that. And for those of you who forgot, don't worry about it. In spirit, you're wearing red, white, and blue. And so we're going to start our Memorial Day ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance. My friend Jade Barnevers, Jade, come on up, Jade. Jade was going to do the Pledge of Allegiance this morning, as we typically do at the start of the day. And we decided that we would do it with all of you. So if you would please stand, face the American flag, and Jade will lead you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Jade. That was wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Memorial Day officially will be celebrated on Monday. We will celebrate Memorial Day annually in this school, at least during my tenure. I hope beyond. Today all of us are here together. We're all going to be participating because it is our civic and patriotic responsibility to honor the men and women who died serving our country. And that's what Memorial Day is about, celebrating those who made sure we had the freedom, the democracy, and the patriotism that we all enjoy today. Please note that the colors of the flag are all around us. This is one small way that we can show our love for our country and to commemorate this auspicious occasion. Now, you haven't been to my house in Ascutney. Some of the teachers already know. I decorate for every holiday. I decorate for Memorial Day. I decorate for Flag Day in June, for July 4th, and again for Labor Day. And so my theme is Americana. So if you were walking to my house right now, you would see red, white, and blue placemats. You'd see a Christmas tree in my living room, all in red, white, and blue. And I keep it lit 24/7. My grandsons love it. They think Mimi's house is like the Christmas tree shop. And it has been compared to that. It's true. So when I was recently shopping to make sure that not only my Pulteney house, but my Ascutney house were all decorated in red, white, and blue, I went to the Christmas tree shop to just get a few odds and ends. And there I found the most beautiful book. It's this book. It's called Oh Say Can You See? And I bought 3 copies. One for Chase Edward, my oldest grandson. One for Connor James, my little baby grandson. And one for you. I'm always thinking about you. And this is going in the library. And what I love about this book is that it has a CD with 10 patriotic songs. And the book itself is filled with beautiful colors. So I want you to check it out, because I'll be giving it to Mrs. Simone today. So I want you to check it out. So it's a book you can enjoy and listen to. And I thought we'd play a trivia game. There's all kinds of Americana facts in this book. So I went through, and I'm just going to show you how pretty it is. Look at some of these pictures. Aren't they fabulous? And it's all about our country. And if you lift up some of these little pictures, they ask a question. It's kind of like the game Jeopardy. It's kind of like a quiz game. So I took some of those. I want to see how well-versed my boys and girls are on American history. So I'm going to ask adults to play with us and children to play with us. Don't shout out the answer, but raise your hands, and I'll call on you. So by the way, I played this on Mother's Day with my own children, and they could answer almost every question I asked. Except my UVM college graduate didn't know the nickname of the American flag. That surprised me. but we'll see if you do today. So here's the first question, and I'm watching teachers. I know every hand will go up for these questions. So what's our national bird? Oh, let's see. Cadence. It's the bald eagle, Cadence. You're only in first grade and you knew that. Woo, that is great. I'm very proud. Here's the next question. You ready? What do the 13 stripes represent on our American flag? Gunner. Gunner, excellent. This is part of the story. Excellent. All right, here's a hard one. We're going to stump you on this one. What is the tallest building in Washington at 555 feet, and no building can ever be taller? Jonathan. Well, that's a very good answer if we were in New York City, but how about in Washington, D.C.? Christopher, do you think you know? Say it again. Oh, that's a good answer, Christopher. Let's see. Who's got it? Sam.
Washington Memorial.
It is indeed the Washington Monument. Thank you very much. Good job, Sam. There's the reason he's a GOV champion. All right. I hope you know this one. Who gave the Statue of Liberty to us as a gift? Oh. Is that Tristan? Tristan. France is the correct answer. Woo-hoo! He did like Jeopardy. I think he did. All right, here's the tough one. Get ready. What do the 3 colors on the American flag represent? That's a tough one. Dory, do you know? First off, tell me the 3 colors. Red, white, and blue is correct. And tell me what they represent. What does red represent? The red badge of blank. What is it? Oh, Everett?
Courage.
Courage! He knew it! The red badge of courage. That's correct. White. I want you to think of a wedding gown and a blushing bride. White represents this P word. And purity. Oh, that's so good. I love it. And blue represents the L word. It means devoted. Kate, Liberty's close, but it's L-O. Okay, Keegan. Loyalty. You guys are stars. Wow, super. All right, this is the one my college graduate had wrong. I can't believe it. What is the flag's nickname? Oh, Matthew. Not that I'm aware of, but it's 2 words, and say it again. What is Old Glory? Excellent, Matthew, excellent. All right, now I'm going to stump you. What was pictured on the very first postage stamp? Do you know, Billy? What was it? You're wearing it. He's right. He's in kindergarten. It's the American flag. Woo, you guys are brilliant. All right. And you boys better get this next one. What is sung at the opening of every single baseball game? Oh, let's see. Brandon.
The national anthem.
The national anthem. Woo! All right. Now you see how much fun you can have with a book on our American history. So make sure to sign it out. You'll get to learn even more facts about us, Americans. Okay, I think we're ready to begin this program. What do you think? All right, on the agenda, we're going to have everyone singing. There are 2 songs. The words are there. I'd sing-alongs. Can't carry a tune, but love to sing. So the first one is, This Is My Country. Take it away.
Everybody's supposed to sing. You have a beautiful voice. On your program are words, and we have worked on these words. And this is my country. This is everybody. Okay, everybody, let's do it now. Look at your words. You need to come down here up front and surround me at the piano. inspector and inspect ourselves. Mrs. Tennis's class is going to sing America. We're all familiar with the first verse, but they're also singing, there were 3 other verses that the men back way back put into them. And you can, when you hear the verses, you'll see what the men that founded the country and battled back then thought about the freedom that they had created.
On Memorial Day weekend, a lot of you might see people selling poppies. Poppies are a red flower that grow naturally in Europe in the fields and cemeteries of the First and Second World War. Between the white crosses, you may see red poppies growing there. In America, on Memorial Day weekend, people sell red paper or plastic flowers, also called poppies. The first poem I'd like to read to you is a poem about why we wear those poppies, why we have poppies on Memorial Day. "Please wear a poppy," the lady said, and held one forth, but I shook my head. Then I stopped, and I watched as she offered them there. Her face was old and lined with care. But beneath the scars the years had made, there remained a smile that refused to fade. A boy came whistling down the street, bouncing along on carefree feet. His smile was full of joy and fun. "Lady," said he, "may I have one?" When she pinned it on, he turned to say, "Why do we wear a poppy today?" The lady smiled in her wistful way and answered, "This is Memorial Day, and the poppy there is the symbol for the gallant men who died in war. And because they did, you and I are free. That's why we wear a poppy, you see." I had a boy about your size, with golden hair and big blue eyes. He loved to play and jump and shout. Free as a bird, he would race about. As the years went by, he learned and grew and became a man, as you will too. He was fine and strong with a boyish smile, but he'd seemed with us just a little while. When war broke out and he went away, I still remember his face that day. When he smiled at me and said goodbye, "I'll be back soon, Mom, so please don't cry." But the war went on and he had to stay. And all I could do was wait and pray. His letters told of the awful fight. I can see it still in my dreams at night, with the tanks and the guns and cruel barbed wire, and the mines and bullets and bombs and fire. Till at last, the war was won. And that's why we wear a poppy, son. The small boy turned as if to go and then said, "Thanks, lady, I'm glad to know. That sure did sound like an awful fight. But your son, did he come back all right?" A tear rolled down each faded cheek. She shook her head, but didn't speak. I slunk away in sort of shame, and if you were me, you'd have done the same. For our thanks in giving, if oft delayed, thought our freedom was bought and thousands paid. And so when we see a poppy worn, let us reflect on the burden borne by those who gave their very all when asked to answer their country's call. That we at home in peace might live, then wear a poppy, remember, and give. The second poem you may have heard before. It's called "In Flanders Fields." Flanders is a region in Belgium in Europe where almost 100 years ago we had a very terrible war, the First World War. In that war, almost 10 million soldiers, sailors, and Marines died from all the countries in Europe and in North America. America lost over 120,000 soldiers and sailors and Marines in that war. And they are still there. They are buried in Flanders Fields in Belgium. If you will imagine, if you ever go there, you can still see those cemeteries. Each grave is marked with a white cross. and in between those crosses are red poppies. When I finish this poem, taps will be blown by the trumpet by Emily Antonovich. It's appropriate for you to stand, place your hand on your heart during taps, and remain quiet. In Flanders fields. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Thank you. I want to close by thanking all of our guests here today, some mommies and me's and neighbors who came, and daddies too, and grandpies, who have come, papas, who have come to be a part of today's ceremony. And I'm so pleased because I think it demonstrates for all of us here in the school community how far-reaching this is and how important it is to remember all of those who died for us, and that's what Memorial Day is. And I'm so pleased to hear Mr. Lambert give you a historical perspective about poppies and about In Flanders Field was one of my favorite poems. Blue and the Gray was also a favorite of mine growing up. And I can't smell a lilac to this day without thinking about Memorial Day and growing up in my small community of North Bennington, Vermont. And we had a family picnic. I had 13 in my family, 12 brothers and sisters. By God, 11 girls, and don't we look alike? And we talked. And you can imagine, most of us played instruments. We'd march in the school band, and then we would go to my little granny's house for our Memorial Day family celebration. And then we would walk through the cemetery, picking out, and we could tell by the crosses and the flags and the wreaths who were soldiers. So even though we didn't know them, we would stop and say a prayer in memory of their service. So that's something that you might want to do with your moms and dads and grannies and grandpies. So you keep that in mind. Thanks to everyone for being here, and thanks to the boys and girls for performing. Have a good day.